Before you play Killer, do you have a feeling of fear, anguish, like you're gonna shit yourself? Well, this is called killer anxiety, and a bunch of DBD players do get this feeling, and in fact, this was my topic of my last video, and you guys seem to really like it. Thanks for that, by the way. I love you guys, man. But one thing that caught me by surprise was I got quite a bit of comments from you guys that you don't really get this feeling when playing Killer, but you get this feeling while playing Survivor. These comments surprised me because the way I've always felt was that Survivor is the harder role to win, but it is the easier one to play, whereas the Killer is the harder one to play, but the easier one to win. In low to mid MMR, that is. I wouldn't know about high MMR. I'm pretty trash at this game. So this video is a sequel to my last video, and this one is about Survivor anxiety. In this video, I'm gonna read you guys' comments, react to them, and give my own thoughts, and then at the end, I'm gonna give a summary. Then I'm gonna give my own opinion on why I absolutely have no anxiety when playing Survivor. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, I guess, and road to 10k subs. After my last video, we went up to 6k subs. Thank you so much, guys. We're now on the way to 7k. Thank you so much. What is Survivor anxiety? Survivor anxiety is a feeling of anxiety about playing Survivor. Yes, I made that joke 2 videos in a row. But enough of yapping, you guys already know what it is. Let's just get into why some of you guys don't like playing Survivor. As a Killer main, another problem I think some people have is Survivor anxiety. Something I think is common not due to the Killer, but due to your teammates. Most of them probably have hundreds of hours on just Survivor, and you have to help them win. That puts a lot of pressure on people, especially if you don't know how to loop. I think you should also make a video on this. It's probably a real problem for the survivors and me who wants to taste those sweet, succulent blood points. Whenever I see that blood point bonus in the bottom right of my screen, I start creaming a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. But I never thought about it like this because I look at it differently. But maybe it's because I'm kind of decent at Survivor, I'd say. So I'm not like bad. I know how to loop. But I almost never care about if my teammates have a million hours in this 9-year-old game. There's gonna be survivors with hella hours in this game. So if you feel like you have to help them win, then that's pressure you're putting on yourself. If you have survivors on your team with tens and thousands of hours, then they should be helping you win, not the other way around. They should loop the Killer for 2 to 4 gens easily if they have that much time on Survivor. If they go down within 12 seconds in chase and then get mad at you for not getting a 90-second generator done fast enough, then that's just on them for being ass. They should be the one carrying you. All you have to do is hold your own and not go down in 10 seconds, and you're doing completely fine. I had Killer anxiety until I had like 10 hours on Killer. After that, I realized solo queue Survivor is just 10 times more AIDS than what playing Killer could ever be. Don't get me wrong, solo queue is definitely hard. It's just like me. In solo queue, it's definitely hard to win if you're not a super highly skilled player, so low-key, I agree with this. Honestly, I feel more anxious about playing Survivor. It's far less likely you'll have a miserable experience as Killer than you will as Survivor. My guess is because even when you're good at Survivor, you're screwed if the rest of your team is bad, whereas in Killer, you rely on your own skill. Now, this is an extremely based take, because in solo queue you can have a teammate go down in 10 seconds, give up on hook, then the second teammate runs to the Killer, just gives up. You could spawn in and get tunneled, camped, humped on the ground, and then hit on hook just for your teammates to not get a single generator done, or you're just gonna go against some unemployed slugging Kaneki at 5 gens. Whereas on Killer, you're gonna do somewhat decent in the match if you're just good at the game. So honestly, this is a fire take, and I can understand why you don't play Survivor too much. Now that I'm a little longer into the game, I know why. My first 3 matches as Survivor were pretty unlucky. First match ever against Tombstone Myers, second match against Bubba, who knocked us all and waited till we died instead of hooking us. Third match, I got hard tunneled, and that took all motivation. I also downloaded because of the Killer gameplay, and I thought Survivor was boring because no abilities. I sometimes play Survivor now, but to be honest, I just do it for the more blood points. If Killer had the Q bonus, I would be a Killer main only. People who play Killer only because of the powers and abilities, you know what? That's valid. But getting those kind of matches are hilarious, bro. I'm sorry for laughing, but that shit is crazy. Killers have some very unfun ways to play with plenty of unfun Killer powers just for every survivor to literally just be a cosmetic of a survivor. Yeah, I can see why you don't like it, even though I think everyone should play a little bit of the other side. Oh, my bad, you literally put that, my fault. Killer main here, over 800 hours. Now, once have I ever played solo queue Survivor? I refuse to. I need at least to do it with me if I'm playing Survivor. One could say I have solo queue anxiety. Yes, you do indeed have Survivor anxiety, but it's more of a solo queue anxiety more than Survivor. From now on, the rest of the video, I'm probably gonna say both because they both really do go hand in hand. But almost 1k hours and never played solo queue, that is hilarious. I don't even blame you either because solo queue is so weak sometimes. And playing with a duo or trio makes the game slightly easier, but more importantly, it makes the game way more fun as you have people to talk to and crack jokes to, rather than staring at a screen with a straight face just to play against Kaneki. I'm new to the game, and this may sound weird, but it's the complete opposite for me. I don't know if there's anything like Survivor anxiety, though, but Survivor games are just not that compelling since I'm playing solo. It just feels hard to act as a team and actually achieve things beyond just running around. Also, it often feels impossible to prevent snowballs when when 1 or 2 people have been hooked. Now, the main thing I see from these comments from you guys is you don't like playing Survivor solo. Don't get me wrong, not everybody wants to be social or wants friends to play with, but it seems like a common factor. Acting as a team is really hard because there's literally no way to communicate to each other. As soon as one person is on hook and say one other person gets down, the match can almost pretty much instantly be snowballed right there without coordination. And it's very hard to get around, so snowballs are bound to happen in solo queue, and sometimes it can just be, yeah, really hard. Personally, killer's the only fun role in the game, so you just get to do chases. You don't have to fix gens or heal or do any boring shit. Now, saying Survivor is boring, I don't agree with. It's still valid though because no special powers, but personally, I think being chased often can be way more fun than being the chaser. Looping a killer for a few gens or completely outplaying them on a loop is a feeling like no other, whereas if you're on the other side of it, it can be frustrating and you just feel like you're wasting your time. Looping a killer for 3 gens feels infinitely better than getting looped by a Survivor for 2, and I'll die on that hill, but yeah, saying it's boring, I can't disagree with you on that because fun is subjective. Killer way easier than Survivor. I mean solo queue, you kidding me? Again, another comment about solo queue, not calling this person out or nothing. I'm not doing nothing toxic in this video. Just putting this comment here because it seems like the main factor when it comes to not wanting to play Survivor, solo queue. Again, it might be solo queue anxiety. I can't run from the killer at all, so I'm afraid my teammates doing legit nothing and I have to be the one running, basically guaranteeing death. So what I think you mean is your teammates do nothing but hide, and that leaves you to be the only one found by the killer, resulting in you getting tunnel. And I'm gonna be honest, this happens way more often than people think. It's 2025. I don't know why we're still scared of being seen by the killer. I'd be playing Survivor and see me and 2 of my teammates are on death hook, and then we have 1 survivor and like the killer hasn't even hit them yet. Like, have you ever played killer and you've been forced to tunnel 1 or 2 survivors because the rest are just hiding? Or like you're chasing somebody and you see a Michaela pop out of nowhere and you're like, oh shit, I didn't even know Michaela was in the match. Also, not being the greatest looper does make it a little bit harder, but that will come with experience, my guy. Don't give up. Killer is so much easier and more fun to play. I get more anxious playing solo queue Survivor because I know the match is going to be awful. If I lose as killer, I still win because you generate points for existing. You get tunneled out of a match, you get 10k at most. Alright, first thing, I'm retitling this video to solo queue anxiety. Not Survivor anxiety, but yeah, same thing, you guys know. And second thing, you know, that is one thing I forgot about for Survivor. You get loaded to a match, get slugged by an unemployed blight, and waste about 10-15 minutes of your time, and a wasted blood point offering you've been saving just to end the match with 2,000 blood points. It feels so bad. Going into solo queue, you gotta expect your match to be difficult, whereas on killer, if you do bad, you can still get hella blood points if you do good on one area, like stopping gens or getting some hooks. You get blood points for being there, whereas Survivor, you kind of have to earn them. With that being said, let me talk about some things that can help people get over this solo queue anxiety, especially since FNAF is coming out and a bunch of new players will join the game and might get these feelings when they play DBD. My analysis on solo queue anxiety. There's a few ways people deal with it. The first thing is they don't get scared to play. There are a few reasons why that could be. Maybe they're good at Survivor and they love playing around all the killer's powers, and the uniqueness of countering each one is a challenge they enjoy. And I'm one of these people, although I think of myself average. I'm definitely not like really good. I'm definitely just an average survivor, but this is me. I love going against all the different powers. I love learning how to counter them because, as I said earlier, looping a killer for 3 gens feels infinitely better than being stuck chasing a survivor for 2 gens. Although the outcome of a match can be completely out of your reach due to solo queue, it's still easy to play at its core. You just do gens, drop pallets. The main common factor of why people don't play Survivor is because they do it solo queue. We all know how fucking bad solo queue can be. Honestly, I'd rather play killer against a bully squad that get trash ass teammates in solo queue constantly. But that just comes with the territory of an asymmetrical team-based game. And since the common factor of these comments is solo queue, there's one solution to this: get someone to play with. Easier said than done, and some people aren't social and don't want friends, and that's okay. But if you aren't super anti-social and the only reason you play Survivor is because you play solo queue, well, congratulations, you just made your own problem. Finding someone to play with isn't that difficult. You can find somebody in the comments of this video if you want to, in somebody else's comment section, join a Positive Streamers live chat, and then just find friends there, join one of their Discord servers. Hey, don't look at me. My Discord server is fucking dead. I don't even use it anymore. If you have a good match, send a friend request to somebody that did really well, and they might even accept it. Who knows? If you don't want friends to play with, that's okay. But don't complain about solo queue if you're not willing to find friends to play with. Maybe you don't play Survivor because you find it boring, and that's valid. I disagree, but it's valid. Fun is subjective. So if you don't find it fun, fair. Maybe it's because you suck at looping, and that's okay. But you don't get better at something without doing it. Do you think LeBron picked up a basketball when he was 3 years old and just became the greatest basketball player ever? Okay, maybe he did. LeBron! Also, before I wrap up this video, I would love to know, one, what are some other reasons you guys might not want to play Survivor or have this solo queue anxiety, other than it just being boring and solo queue sucks? And two, I've always wanted to do a hot take type of video, so if you guys have a bunch of hot takes about DBD, put them in the comments because I would love to do a video about it. The hotter, the better. Anyways, let's wrap up this video. Now, I can't specify every single reason why someone doesn't want to play Survivor, but what I can do is make you feel less anxious about playing it and giving my own opinion about it. And I know the majority of players hate solo queue, so I'm gonna give my best reasoning on why I've never had solo queue anxiety. The main constant in a solo queue match is myself. My teammates are random people with random perks. The killer's a random person with random perks. The map is random. The pallets and window spawns are random. The generator spawns are random. The skill level of everybody could be random. But one thing will never be random, and that thing is me. I'm the only constant in all of my matches. So instead of focusing and putting the blame on everything else but me, let me throw blame out of the window and take accountability for my own actions. Sure, teammates who DC and give up on hook or don't do gens or go down in 10 seconds, I have absolutely no way of controlling that, and it sucks. But what I can control is every single response and action I make in that match. Did my chase last long enough to make a difference? Did I waste too many pallets? Was I too greedy? Did I do enough gens? Do I take a hit? Should I have taken a hit? Do I try to take chase? Do I body block? Why did I take that window? It gave the killer a guaranteed hit. Do I pre-drop against this killer? Do I greed against this one? Did I play around this killer's power correctly? The only thing I can control in every single match is me. If I get trash teammates, then the goal of escaping is out of my reach. The killer is an unemployed slugger at 5 gens looking at you, Kaneki, and I'm playing solo queue, then the win is out of my hands. If one teammate makes a really bad mistake, then escaping all of a sudden isn't an option. In solo queue, the win can be completely out of your reach. So instead of putting all the blame on others, how about we just look at ourselves? Even if escaping is off the table, there's something you can control, and that's you. Even if you don't escape, look at what you could have done better, even if the loss isn't your fault. So instead of solely being focused on escaping when sometimes it's completely out of your reach, focus on what you can get better at and you will constantly improve. Eventually, you can be that survivor that will carry a team to the win, get chased for 3 or 4 gens. I think in recent years, everybody thinks that they need to win. You need to escape. You need to get the 4K, but that's not the case. You don't need 4 kills as killer to consider that a win. You don't need to escape yourself as a survivor if you don't want the match to just be an immediate loss or waste of your time. Maybe when you're playing killer, your goal is to get 1 or 2 kills and you're fine with that. Maybe playing survivor, you want to get a teammate out. That's fine. You're not going to escape every match, and sometimes it's going to be literally impossible. But if your enjoyment relies on an outcome that's completely out of your reach, then you need to stop and start focusing on something that is within your reach, which is you. So, is solo queue anxiety real? Yes. Can you get over it? Well, that's up to you. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And I hope you have a good day.